Once again, we find ourselves in beautiful Monterey, California for the Legends of the Autobahn event. This year, we celebrate the 5th anniversary of the event with a sold-out Concours and Corral field. Over to Manny to share with you a unique Porsche.
During Monterey Car Week, driving in a Ferrari is kind of like driving in a Toyota. Nobody really looks twice. And Porsche 911s are almost a dime a dozen during Car Week. But we're with one that's very unique and very special, and you probably have never seen it before. But it's been around a while, and it's here at the Legends of the Autobahn Concours, which is one of the PCA-sponsored concours during Monterey Week. So we're here with actually the artist who created this, and we're actually going to run our fingers on this car, where most people don't let you touch their car. We actually get to touch this car and hear the story of how this special 911, which in itself is the 67 911S, took it to the next level. So we're here with the artist, Phyllis. Tell us the history of how this car became to be.
All right. This car I purchased about 30 years ago because I wanted to find a very male object, and this one was a race car, 911S, and I wanted to feminize it. And so to me, the stereotypical feminine is lace and then had to have a little of the color pink.
So the 911, everybody equates with maybe a middle-age crisis that a man buys. It's either a 911 or a Corvette. And yes, it's true. Probably not a lot of women drive it, although more and more are driving it now. So you're taking a very manly car, like you said, a 911S, the high-performance car back then. And tell us the process, because I'm really trying to get this on videotape. This is not smooth paint. This is actually a texture to this, and it's very unique.
Yeah, and I need to add that this was a racing car. It had a roll bar in the back when I bought it. And of course I took it out, but the technique is simple. I airbrushed through lace and then took a frosting tip to my paint and extruded that paint with the little raised lines and the foliage and so forth to all over the entire car. And I think it does feminize this car very well.
And at the time, you really weren't looking for a Porsche. You were told that this is probably the best car to get. And by the way, you should make it a 911S just to give it the added oomph to what you were trying to do, right?
Absolutely. First they said Porsche. Then later, not too much later, he said, oh, it's got to be a 911. And then he called me back and said, the 911S is the most macho car he knew. And he owned a Porsche, but I don't know what kind it was.
And he is critical to this story, if you will, because it comes full circle, right? So where we come to our new owners of the car.
Right. Why don't you tell the story, Karen?
All right. Well, we were coming down to show the car in the Concours d'Elegance, and so we arranged for a place to stay. We ended up renting a house, and the owner was very proud because the home was refurbished by a architect by the name of John Thotis. And so I passed the information to Phyllis. She's staying with us. And she said, oh my gosh, John Thotis is the one who had recommended the macho 911S Porsche when it came time for her to find a masculine car to mask the gender on. So we're staying in that house this week. It makes it kind of special.
It almost came full circle. It was meant to be.
Right.
It's the story. You couldn't write the story if it wasn't true, right? Tim, tell us what's it? You drive this car or just Karen?
Well, I drive the car, but I'm embarrassed. We'll usually take it to Starbucks, and I let Karen drive because it is very feminine. But I will say, when Phyllis got the car, I was able to get the original 1967 brochure, and there's a little asterisk comment. It says, warning, this car is not for the novice driver. And that's when Phyllis knew she had the most masculine car to use as her canvas.
And I guess now in the day of age of everybody wrapping things, taking vinyl wrap, my first question when I saw the car was, is this a wrap? Because everybody's much easier to wrap. So this isn't a wrap. This is very, if you want to call it old school, this is a piece of art that happens to roll and you can drive. And I can only imagine, what are the comments when people see it on the road or when you pull up to Starbucks?
It's a great piece of art because it brings out emotions in people, and they either hate it or they love it. And so it's really fun. The other day, a man was walking with his wife, and you could tell the wife wanted to come and check it out. He grabbed her sleeve and said, "This car disgusts me. I don't even want to get near it." And I thought, yes, Phyllis, you did a good job.
So Phyllis, is this the only piece of art that involved a car that you've done, or have you done anything else involving cars?
This is the only, one and only car. When I was feminizing stereotypical male objects, machine guns, hard hats, hammers, saws, that kind of thing. But this was the largest object that I painted. And the best.
And it's been featured in the Wall Street Journal, and I guess the complete opposite, Glamour.
Yes.
So it's gone across every single base the reads. So this is yet another example of the special cars that you see in Monterey Week. And so if you see this down on the highway, it's not a wrap. This is the real thing. It's a piece of art.